Bengaluru restaurants are ready to hit the pause button on Swiggy. The fight over your food order is no longer just about delivery time or discounts. It is now about who gets the biggest share of the bill. The Bengaluru Hotel Association has warned that restaurants across the city could stop doing business with Swiggy after August 15 unless the food delivery giant addresses their concerns over payments, deductions and transparency. The association says the restaurants are facing a deduction overload with charges for commissions, advertisements, promotions and other fees reducing their final payouts. Restaurant owners allege that after generating orders worth 1 lakh rupees, some businesses receive only around 40,000 rupees to 50,000 rupees after multiple deductions. The issue is not with Swiggy's service charge but with additional charges being imposed without proper consent, they claim. The association has accused Swiggy of applying advertisement and promotional charges without written or digital approval form from restaurant owners. It is now demanding a clear payment system, separate details of every deduction, an easy option to opt out of advertisements, and an end to what it calls one-sided agreements. The association has also objected to service charges being calculated on GST amounts collected from customers for government payments. Restaurant bodies say they're open to continuing their partnership with Swiggy, but only if the payment system becomes more transparent and fair. Swiggy has been given time till August 15th to resolve the dispute. If talks fail, Bengaluru restaurants warn they could walk away from the platform while also exploring action against other food delivery companies. For now, the battle is over one sticky point in the booming food delivery business. Who gets the bigger slice of the pie? Well, let's get you all the big stories. If you thought student protests in India were only about competitive exams and paper leaks, think again. Because the country's youngest students are now leading a very different kind of movement. One that is not about marks or rankings, but about something far more fundamental. Having enough teachers in their classrooms, their right to be taught. The latest example comes from Jalore in Rajasthan, where students, parents and villagers locked the gates of a PM SHRI School and staged a 4-hour sit-in after years of complaining about a severe shortage of teachers. Their anger stems from the fact that out of 25 sanctioned posts, only 7 staff members are currently serving at the school, leaving 18 vacancies, including the posts of principal and vice principal. Subjects such as Hindi, English, mathematics, science and Sanskrit are all facing teacher shortages, forcing a handful of teachers to manage multiple classrooms for nearly 340 students. And these young kids have said a big no. The protests eventually prompted education officials to reach the school, temporarily deploy 5 teachers, and assure the protesters that 3 more teachers would be posted within the next 10 days. That's the strength of young kids coming together for something as fundamental as the right to be taught by teachers. That's called a protest. Let's listen in.
शिक्षा विभाग और सरकार से हमारी ये मांग है कि PM SHRI स्कूल है और यहाँ पे एक भी टीचर है, सेकंड ग्रेड के एक भी टीचर नहीं है और फर्स्ट ग्रेड है उनके अंदर 2 टीचर है, एक है हिस्ट्री के और एक है हिंदी के। और हिस्ट्री के जो टीचर है वो प्रिंसिपल का पद संभाले, तो उनको भी टाइम मिलता है तो भी पढ़ाते, लेकिन ऑब्वियसली भी काम बहुत है तो वो करने पड़ते। तो इनसे हमारी मांग है सेकंड ग्रेड, फर्स्ट ग्रेड और थर्ड ग्रेड L1 L2 सभी के टीचर लगाए, वरना तब तक न तो ये स्कूल का लॉक खुलेगा, 10 बजे तक कोई नहीं आया तो हम रोड ब्लॉक करेंगे।
नमस्कार, ये बेंगलुरु नगर की स्कूल है, साइला तहसील जालोर जिले के अंदर आई हुई है। अभी हमारे बच्चों का भविष्य खराब हो रहा है। ये अभी रोड पे आके बैठ गए कि हम स्कूल के अंदर मास्टर ही नहीं है, अध्यापक ही नहीं है, तो हम क्या पढ़ेंगे। तो हमारा सरकार से, कलेक्टर साहब से, भजन लाल जी मुख्यमंत्री से और नरेंद्र मोदी जी से हमारा निवेदन है कि इसकी भर्ती जरा जल्दी से जल्दी करवाएं। टोटल इसके अंदर मास्टर की भर्ती 25 है, लेकिन कितनी उपस्थिति कितनी है, 7 है, और 7 में से सिर्फ 4 ही पढ़ाने वाले। अब ये क्या पढ़ेंगे यहाँ पर जब स्कूल में मास्टर ही नहीं है, तो दिन भर रोड पे घूमते हैं और इनका भविष्य क्या। समय तो जा रहा है। तो हमारा भजन लाल जी से निवेदन और कलेक्टर साहब से भी निवेदन है कि तुरंत से तुरंत हमारी भर्ती करवाएं, नहीं तो आगे आंदोलन हम और तेज करेंगे, रोड ब्लॉक करेंगे। ये गांव वाले पूरे आपके सबके साथ, बच्चों के साथ सब बैठे हुए हैं, आप देखिए। और निवेदन है सरकार और शिक्षा विभाग जल्दी से जल्दी हमारी सुने, नहीं तो हम बड़ा आंदोलन करेंगे।
Well, headline management or biryani party in school? Well, beyond rhetoric, the ugly truth. Financial constraints have forced a change to Kerala's school midday meal program. The state government has admitted it does not have enough funds to continue serving special menu items like biryani in government schools. The revised menu introduced last academic year includes dishes such as vegetable biryani, fried rice, coconut rice, carrot rice and eggs. However, officials say the expanded menu could not be implemented in most schools because no additional funds were allocated. The Education Department has now directed school lunch committees to decide what meals can realistically be served within the available budget. With current allocations, schools can largely afford only rice and 2 curries, while biryani, which was earlier served once a week in several schools, may now be limited to just once a month. Under the existing scheme, the government provides 6.19 per day for students up to class 5 and 9.29 rupees for classes 6 to 8, whatever that calculation is. I mean, who does 9.29 rupees? But that's how Sarkari things work. Schools, in fact, have been saying rising food prices have made these amounts insufficient even for basic meals. To maintain the quality of midday meals, many schools are relying on donations from alumni, local communities and private organizations to bridge the funding gap. And now shifting our focus to POK, Pakistan is witnessing a deepening security crisis. From Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to Balochistan and Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, violence is escalating at an alarming pace. Civilian deaths, terror attacks, ambushes and mounting losses for Pakistan's security forces are raising serious questions about the country's internal stability. Pakistan's security situation appears to be spiraling out of control. Violence has intensified across multiple regions during June and July 2026, exposing the country's growing internal crisis. The latest flashpoint is Pakistan-occupied Kashmir, where Pakistani security forces have been accused of using excessive force against civilians in Rawalakot. According to sources, more than 35 people have reportedly been killed in the last 36 hours alone during operations carried out by the Pakistani army, police and other security agencies. The violence is not an isolated incident. Sources further claim that over 150 civilians have lost their lives across Pakistan-occupied Kashmir during June and July as protests and security crackdowns continue to intensify. But the unrest is no longer confined to POK. Pakistan is simultaneously battling rising violence in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa, Balochistan and Punjab, where terror attacks, ambushes and hostage-taking incidents have inflicted heavy losses on its security forces. The numbers paint a grim picture. Available data claims that more than 755 incidents linked to terrorism and militancy were reported between January 1 and July 16, 2026. During the same period, over 600 civilians and more than 820 Pakistani security personnel are reported to have been killed. Security analysts warn that if the current trend continues, Pakistan could lose between 1,600 and 1,700 security personnel by the end of 2026, making it one of the deadliest years for the country's security establishment. With unrest spreading across multiple fronts and violence showing no signs of slowing down, Pakistan faces mounting pressure to contain a crisis that is rapidly expanding beyond isolated flashpoints. From Pakistan-occupied Kashmir to Balochistan, the violence is exposing widening cracks in Pakistan's internal security landscape as civilian casualties rise and attacks on security forces continue. The country appears to be confronting one of its most challenging security environments in recent years.